Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you from the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2025 a brackets round 2 game 3 matchup between Sawneyrath and Angel Nimbus. On tracking is BKPKT Patrick. I am VT Slacker here in the commentator booth, and joining me in the booth is Elendar. How you doing, Elendar?
Hey, I'm excited. This is going to be a good one. I missed the previous two in this series, but always good to see a game three. Both of these runners are pretty top tier runners. Sonny Rath always capable of taking down a tournament. Angel coming out of the upstarts with an absolute fury. Didn't quite take down the trophy on that one, but still a decent chance of doing it here. We're going to be off in just a bit here. And oh boy, am I glad. These are some choices on color palette.
Yeah, I think Sawneyrath's doing his normal randomized color palette, while Angel Nimbus is doing the all black and white Zelda sprite.
The all black and white Zelda sprite is pretty nice looking as we get the freest glove to ever be free. Sawneyrath, meanwhile, half his sprite is the same color of blue as the sky, so you can't see it very well against that, but looks quite a bit better in the dark. So, Magic Container Cave going to be our first cave. It's a raft. It's probably going to be our way off the continent.
And see what type of continent we started off with. I know it's not islands.
Yeah, still a little tough to say this early. Could still be, I believe it could still be mountainous. Just with we're just on the top edge, although I'm not entirely sure about that.
Yeah, normally
I
mountainous is a little bit more closed in.
Yeah, well, similar to islands, you can have some variability on mountains. What I'm trying to remember is you can see the north side of the map has water. I think on mountainous, the edges, the north edge of the map is just going to be more mountains. So that probably means we're handling something like vanilla-like here, but it's still a little early to say without having explored a little bit further south.
Looks like Sawneyrath is going to do some grinding here in P4.
Yeah, not the easiest palace to grind in, get a little bit of interference from the Moa, but probably just take a couple levels for safety here and then move on. And by safety, it appears probably grinding to attack 3. That's going to take one more of these guys. Meanwhile, Angel just moving on, getting to see more of... Is this called Dara? No? What is this?
Might be vanilla-like.
Yeah, this mountain range is a little weird for vanilla-like. Well, here's a junction maze. So that raft looking a little bit less important. I'd be tempted to see where that cave went.
It goes nowhere.
Alright, raft required then. Good thing it too was free.
I don't know. We have Maze Island. If we have the bridge tile to go to the east, we wouldn't
Yeah,
need.
we could just... Yeah, it could just be that raft goes to DM and this is a DM-less seed. Some good encounters on this this trap tile for Nimbus. Catching up a little bit on experience. Sonny also going to get the bad news about that cave. But it's good to know, right? You just want to have that in mind. Hey, here's our raft tile. So we will know all of our connections in just a sec here.
check out some caves and possibly a hint first.
Yeah, not interested in checking the raft. Oh, changing mind? Nope. He's going down south. And yeah, this is definitely mountainous. I don't think if this is vanilla, like the divider can be that far south.
Raft actually goes to, looks like, 8 islands east.
Oh boy, don't want to be there, as Sawney immediately turns around.
And just a P-Bag and Nukasudo, according to the hint.
P1 sighting from Angel. I missed the item count, but it's going to be in logic in just a second here, as Angel's going to pick up the fairy spell.
And Sawneyrath right behind for that fairy spell.
Unfortunately, not castable at Magic 178, so they need another container or some magic levels. And definitely once you get fairy, the priority on getting enough levels to be able to cast it goes up quite a bit, if only to go get downstab. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw Angel convert this life level into a magic level here. Oh, but that was a 500 bag, so now he's like, do I want the attack level? You gotta take a magic level here, right? Oh, this is crazy. With Saria right there next to you, I don't think you can pass up a magic level. Oh, gets lucky. This is the good side of Saria.
And I don't know if we saw where the other end goes out to. It might be just a dead end area.
Yeah, but if this was the bad end of Saria and you couldn't ferry over the gap because you didn't take a magic level and you had like 800 experience, that's a lot. So now Angel's got fire. This is even more reason to go take a couple magic levels. If that's like a fire thunder, or you really want to get that going as quick as you can.
Well, no, fire was the spell in here, so we don't have fire just yet.
We don't have that yet. Oh, right.
I didn't see what was under the table, but I don't think it was anything important.
It didn't show up on the menu, so a jump onto the table. Okay, I missed it. That does deprioritize being able to cast fairy a little bit. So as long as you can cast jump, you can also go get down stab.
But we'd have to also find a Mito.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just around the bend here.
Yep, there it is.
Angel just trying to gain a level somewhere before taking an up A, presumably. Alright, so Sonic gonna be the first one with down stab. And Angel just stepping into the palace to reset this trap tile rather than trying to find a good overworld farm. Ooh, gets hosed by a blue jar. Yeah, this is the last life. He's gonna be a little careful here.
Sawneyrath? Nope. Just another check on the east, and right back over we go.
Yeah, Angel's trying to finish off this level, just looking for a safe source of 2 experience so he doesn't die. Gonna try the palace instead of the overworld. This blue Stalfos should be just the thing he needs. Yeah, and there's attack 3. And as expected, immediate up A and continuing on. That hammer block cave is going to be an item. We've seen all our connector caves already, so it can't be that, and it is leading straight off the map. 3 or 6 going to be the last palace here. Curious if Magic 2 is enough for Fairy here for Sawney.
It's not, according to our tracker.
Ooh, but that's a fire spell mirror.
Patrick's saying it's still at 78.
Yeah. Sawney doesn't get that Lizalfos down. I think he did pick up the mirror. He wants that experience. He's going for those Alphos again. Yeah, it's a tough one, but these could be worth quite a lot of experience. We'll see. 200.
You can get that from the red iron knuckles. It's a lot easier.
Flex spell, a good first reward in the maze.
Well, second, because of course the mirror was the first.
Oh, right. Wow. Were both items like literally right next to the start?
Looks like it.
Wow. He was so close to the start. I'm like, could it have possibly been both? They're literally just right next to each other. Obviously, they can't be directly next to each other. They gotta be a tile apart, but. So both runners gonna have access to all 4 palaces available early. And I suspect we're gonna see both runners do all 4 of those palaces. Prior to heading to the east, you really want to do as much stuff as you can before going and committing to doing an Islands East. I say, as I am immediately proven wrong by Angel.
Well, I think that was the first...
Angel hadn't checked that yet, okay. This makes sense for Angel. See, you see Islands East, you'll leave.
And the other 3 or 6 on the maze, but no items in there either.
Yeah, Boot's not going to be here, though. What is going to be here is attack 4 at just a second for Sawney. Correctly determining these red iron knuckles are a better farm. But will he go in? Answer, no.
A little bit surprised. I would think you would have knocked this out since you're not coming back in this direction anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. If you do that, you're definitely committing to Fairy being castable at Magic 3, hopefully. But decides to just check the rest of the West first. Did not see that Bagu check. Looks like it was Life Spell.
Yeah, not having a castable Fairy might have forced that decision.
Yeah, I think you could reasonably dig into a palace if you have Fairy, and like the cost to upgrade Magic is pretty low, and you're relatively confident you're going to be able to get there. Magic 3, usually you can cast Fairy at least once. But it is a little bit of a gamble. And these other 3 or 6 also no items. So 3, 6, and 4, all itemless. There does have to be at least 3 total items in palaces in this flag set.
And there's Thunder.
Yeah, okay. Sawney is in... Sorry, he's going to get his fire spell. Still cannot cross. But yeah, just because there has to be enough places to put all of the items, the minimum number of items that could be in palaces, if you don't start with any items, there's no change in containers or anything, is 3. Because it will take away from the shuffled P bags. Sawney's gonna go to the far end. Is he just looking for hints?
It's, as our tracker Patrick is saying, it's Fire Fairy.
Oh, cool.
All that grinding is...
And Fire castable at Magic 3. That is... Both of those things are pretty lucky. Fire Fairy not going to be in logic. None of the linked fire spells are considered logically. But forget logic. They already have the fairy, though. The logic already theoretically could expect them to cross that moat. Looks like the only thing we're going to get is a medicine cave. But will this be good? If so, going to be a pretty big advantage to Sawneyrath early.
Could be something like boots.
Boots would be huge, and any key would be good. Heart container is kind of meh.
But other than that, because we pretty much have the main 4 we need.
Yeah.
Glove, Thunder, Reflect, and Fairy.
Still a couple of outstanding item caves for Sawney, even considering that hammer blocked one. So he's going to keep looking.
Yeah, Thunder was in Heart Container Cave. And then Reflect was on Maze Island. But we can get to all 3 palaces on the west. We can get to the one on Maze Island. It's at Island's east. We have not really seen that much of it, so we don't know if we need boots or not, or possibly flute or hammer.
Yeah, theoretically, both runners, in conjunction, already have go mode. But that's still highly theoretical until we've seen more of that east. Sonic gonna get his Thunder Spell here. Yeah, the only issue with potentially doing palaces next, I mean, palaces are good. You want to do them. And with Fire Fairy, you can definitely get it down pretty cheap just by taking a couple levels of magic. But there were no items in those palaces. I didn't catch the item count at P1, but all 3 other available palaces, itemless. 1 item at P1. Okay, thanks, Patrick. So, I mean, rushing palaces is not a terrible idea. You do have to do them eventually anyway, but you're not going to get any real reward for them. And yeah, Angel, not interested either, decides to brave it out, walking across the east. If the boots are going to be somewhere, unfortunately at this point, they're probably here in the east.
Logic would say, or statistics would say that's the case.
Yeah, we still don't have a viable route into DM. And there's not much left in the west. P5, not... 2 items in there, but P5 not something you want to be doing this early. Here we go. Here's a nice, theoretically safe item cave.
So far, we got 2 items spotted. Do we have 2 enemies spotted? Do we have 2 on the backside? Yes.
All right. 4 spiders. That's what you want to see in this cave. No coconuts, no moas, just a bunch of spiders.
Fortunately, one of them was unkillable.
Okay, flute's pretty good. Definitely better to pick up flute before you see your flute blocks and not after. Yeah, I would take a bunch of giant spiders over mysterious floating eyeballs any day.
Especially invisible floating eyeballs in some situations. Yeah, I got a question. Where is Sawneyrath going? Is it just a refill, or...?
It looks like just a refill. He's a little close to a level. This is probably life 4, but he could push it a bit for Magic 5.
think you would just go to a statue to kill one more Iron Knuckle and then up an A from there.
Yeah. Sony, I think, as you expected, gonna start up on the palace grind.
Of course, he was near P1s, which doesn't have a Iron Knuckle in the front.
Yeah, does decide to do P1 first. It's going to be the easiest palace and the only one with an item, so maybe we get some goodies here.
And we're in Darunia with the spell. Angel trying to get a life refill, but a bat gets in the way.
Yeah, the townsfolk will insist they're not buyers in disguise, but some of them are. This is not randomized. The NPCs that are buyers in vanilla are still that way in rando. You just don't see it a lot because people tend to ignore them.
Trying to think, I know we've had seeds in the older version where the only way you could grind levels was to kill Vyres in a city.
Oh, that is rude. That's one unfortunate thing about the rando right now. There is actually an issue in Ford, and I do need to try and fix it at some point, just short for Sony. The randomizer does not at present take into account whether you have a source of experience. It really should, in case you have to do an early grind for fairy magic or something like that. Thankfully, one of the reasons it's been a low priority to fix is just that the only kind of seeds that are going to block off like that block so incredibly early that you just roll a different one. Water in Old Kasuto.
I think that's safe drinking water in Old Kasuto.
Yeah. So Sony didn't turn back to look for that item in P1. He's just going to start blasting. And it makes sense. Again, theoretically in Go mode, unless something else ends up being required, he really just needs to start doing palaces. Still a possibility. We could need some boots. We could need a flute. We could need a hammer.
And a old school River Devil actually blocking a pathway that we needed the flute for.
Hey, the flute definitely a lot more useful than it used to be in these new flags, but occasionally Larry does his best. Sony confirming this is P6. And double confirming it's P6, because here's the boss. Should be no problem with attack 5, roughly vanilla health.
Don't know if it's required just yet. Might be since Angel is back on the west.
Yeah, and Angel didn't find that many locations where items could be. If it turns out that boots are required, we're really not that many places for them to be. P1 being the most likely candidate.
And Sawneyrath had to take a bath to get magic back up to be able to get through the door.
Yeah, but is going to be able to get attack 6, so very nice early palaces, very nice early levels for Sony. Gonna let him just put his foot on the gas and go fast. I'm sure he's hoping at this point nothing else is required and he can just jet seed this. We'll see, he's saving out, probably going to do the last palace on the west, do the maze, take another up A, and check out the east himself, though. If it does turn out the boots are required, man, they gotta be somewhere. If the boots are in P1 and Angel gets them before Sony, that could be really interesting.
There's also a possibility of 2 items in P5.
Yeah, we did see P5. Could be hanging out there. I think that was the only item location we had access to in the east, unless Angel missed a path or a connector or something. I would definitely go back in to check the item in P1 before committing to a 2-item P5 all the way on the other continent.
Yeah, but Sawneyrath will already be in the east going off of his pathing for right now.
Yeah. Almost for sure. If you're not going to go back and get the item in P1, you're hard committing to that being the last location you check. Because it's such a relatively easy check that, I mean, I'm sure. Again, Sonny's just hoping he doesn't need any more items. Everything's going fine. Why do anything else? Just go fast.
And Angel, I think, has found something interesting.
Ooh,
nice way to grind.
I've done this grind before, so it's really fun. Because alternating jars and enemies are on perfectly consistent, just fill up your magic, kill the guy, fill up your magic, kill the guy. Don't know how long he'll keep this up, but probably just long enough to get his magic into a reasonable spot, potentially magic 5 here. Nope, just gonna keep going. Still 1 cast per life. So Angel in 3, Sawny in 4. No items to be found here, but might as well cross them off the list. Ah. I had missed that. Good call from Patrick. Fire is 31, so Sawny will be able to get 2 casts. I don't know if Angel also got fire.
Angel did not.
Okay.
He
will be limited.
Yeah, this is their first kind of major trip to Maze Island, so they just picked up Reflect and the Mirror. And I think they're going to go clear. As I was thinking before, clear out this palace, then clear out the west.
Sawny with a little bit of a turnaround to pick up that key. His magic is a little low. Did he just actually cast Fairy instead of casting Fire? This is an unusual number for him to be at.
Well, no, I know he picked up a blue jar.
Okay, he got a blue jar. That makes sense. Wow, and these palaces are kind of nothing. Sawny too low to cast and decides it's going to be faster to take a lava bath rather than let the boss beat him up.
To take the death now instead of doing it after beating Rebo.
Yeah, definitely.
Or excuse me, Karok. You needed the magic anyway. I apologize.
Yeah, it could be a little trolly trying to die on Karok. Sometimes his beams don't cooperate, and you're like, hit me!
Well, that's where you have to turn your back to him and take him to the back of the head.
It's just tricky, because you try to walk into them, and you accidentally block them, and you're like, come on! But attack 7 here for Sawny. Very nice. He's pretty much guaranteed going to take this attack 7, and then we'll see if he wants to go onward to 8, or just going to take the big experience jump and burn everything else.
Big gem lead for Sawneyrath, but the question is, where are the boots?
And Angel about to put his first gem on the board. Angel definitely has the advantage in that Angel is going to aggressively look for those boots, having scouted the east already. I suspect that if the boots are in 1, it's going to be advantage Angel, just in that it's going to take Sawney quite a while to come back there. If the boots are in 5, Sawney's going to have the advantage because he, by the time he finds 5, is probably going to take it out.
5 was pretty quick in the east. Like, getting to it was pretty quick.
Yeah. And it might be the case that Sawney just has the advantage, regardless, even with that difference. He's been going real fast here, and these attack levels are definitely contributing. Been a very no-nonsense, do stuff, go fast, get gems on the board approach.
Angel having problems with Rebo, getting him in the corner.
Yeah, and even beyond that, attack 3 just not doing the job. And when Sawney gets here, it's gonna be an embarrassment. But Rebo's gonna die in 3 hits.
And it did look like the life spell was healing at least 3.
Yeah, one thing you could do if you're trying to get the corner set up and you miss the spot is the distance Rebo travels is based on how far you are. So what you could do is you could do what Angel's do and get him to reset, and then have him go max distance off the right side of the screen by just being really far from him. And what that'll do is that'll reset his position back to his normal starting position. And then you can walk to your normal setup spot to try and bait him into the corner. And that'll consistently get you another attempt at trying to set him up in the corner if you know where your setup pixel is. So if you want to be safe, that's a strategy that you can do if you miss it. Angel just deciding to do its intended strat here, no corner lock. Very nicely executed. So not going to get a huge amount of experience from the boss, but is going to be enough for a double level.
Luckily did have a key in tow.
So that's going to be Angel's first gem. Sawney probably going to be right behind. Curious to see how quick his kill is going to be here with attack 7 instead of attack 3. And it looks like he's got enough experience to get another big boost from this boss as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I was a little optimistic. Ooh, takes his death, doesn't get the experience from the boss. The bag gonna be enough. Ooh, wow. Died too early, didn't even get the kill. Bosses, like all enemies in Z1, or in Z2 rather, do not count as dead until the experience starts ticking up. So we'll see whether Sawney wants to. Is this going to be attack 8, or is this going to be just a bunch of life and magic levels and then start burning gems?
Now I think attack 8. Yep, since we have more gems to go.
Yeah, you could do either way. If you decide attack 7 is good enough, then you could just be like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna get to 766 or something like that, and then just burn all the rest of the gems and be like, all right, we're just gonna go fast. This strategy will get him 3 or 4 more levels in aggregate, but yeah, you do have to be careful. Don't be attack 9 guy. It's not the thing you want to do. And now Sawney's first trip into the East, and yeah, here's Pier 5, and he's definitely going to do it. Not even going to up 8 for magic. I'd have taken the up 8 here.
It might just be not thinking about it. I know I've done it plenty of times where I just forget to do that. Because I'm so used to maybe something like a max rando seed where you used to up and A-ing after going past the boss. And you forget to do it on the ones where you just walk out.
Probably not going to be relevant, but you do want to make sure that you actually have enough magic, and especially in a P5 that can be on the long side. Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, Angel's lower attack level definitely getting him into trouble here. This bridge is on the nasty side, though. He does get 150 for it. Get a life check there for Angel. I don't think we had seen Sawney cast life previously. It's not terrible. Looks like at least a couple bars. And should see Angel with P4 on the board pretty quickly. He's going to have high enough level. He'll be able to take a double as well. Just going to let it ride, try and get this attack level. Makes sense. While Sawney in P5 finding a whole bunch of forks. Yep. Correctly identifies that room is nothing. Quite a few dead ends so far.
Last life for Angel. See how it goes. Obviously, having to have magic for reflect, plus also to get through the door. Does have a key in tow.
Yeah, reflect going to be very expensive for Angel, so it is castable at least. Takes a safe approach, getting some distance.
Got an item in P5, it's the boots.
Oh no, that was last life for Angel. Going back to the start, and that's a double whammy of unfortunate. Sawney gonna be in absolute blitz mode here. Although he is gonna be delayed somewhat by needing to take a death to these tin suits. And yeah, this is just Sawney's optimistic routing paying off in every way. Angel taking some unfortunate deaths, and man, this is gonna be a quick one for Sawney. As long as the last remaining palace here in the east is accessible without a hammer, we should be seeing a GP entry potentially sub 50.
Well, that or needing the flute, but we do know where the flute is at.
Yeah, if the flute's required, Sawney at least I guess having the boots is going to change Sawney's approach to exploring the east quite a bit. He might not necessarily find the flute immediately, but yeah, the flute's right near the start of the east, but also once you have the boots, Sawney might take a completely different, instead of following the paths, might just take the water straight up the coast and go a different way. He might end up taking a pretty different route than Angel did, just on the basis of boots being fast. But we'll see.
Just checked the. Don't know what's going on with Angel's stream. We just lost connection to it.
Yeah, Sawney did take an up A here in P5. Wasn't happy with the path that he's on. Gonna try a different one.
Angel's stream did cut out. Don't know if they know it is down.
Sony entering one of my favorite rooms. The four-way with a drop. Certainly my favorite of the rooms that I designed for this version. And yeah, I think Sony knew this was a loop, but did find an item room in there. Not interested though.
Yeah, but before Angel's stream went down, I did check to see who the winner of this race would be facing, and they'd be going against the winner of Level Engine and Angel FM.
Oh man, see, this is gonna be sad. If Angel doesn't win this one, we won't get our Angel match.
Yeah, I know.
Can have them play just for fun, the double Angel show match for bragging rights.
And to mess with the commentators.
So going back for that key, he's like, wait a second. Fairy is still relatively expensive. I should be safe. Oh, Angel's saying his computer
completely
just
crashed.
That is not good.
And it looks like we might be canceling this race.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
So we're talking in the race room right now to see, are we going to just run it back, or is it going to be rescheduled for another day? Obviously, with computer issues, it might not be a good idea to try to run it back now. But we'll see what the runners want to do.
Yeah, as far as tournament rules go, it's up to the runners. It is perfectly within Sawney's rights if he wanted to just claim victory on this one. Both runners being gentlemanly, deciding they want to just do a restart, do another one, try again.
And I understand that, Danger Mole, the only problem is, of course, the runners don't know how far they're behind, because obviously they can't watch the others' stream. So all they know is that their stream, or their run ended. So they wouldn't know if they were ahead, behind, or what was going on. Hope that that they are not doing anything nefarious.
Want to just playing through this P5 for fun while we're figuring stuff out? Please hold with us.
looks like we are going to set up another race, so give us a few moments and we will be right back.